Gaza ceasefire is hanging by a thread after the Israeli military launched what it called a massive and extensive wave of airstrikes across southern Gaza on Sunday. The Israeli army said its forces were responding to fire from Hamas fighters in Rafah, but the Palestinian group denied any clashes had taken place, insisting it was still adhering to the US-brokered truce that ended 2 years of war. Gaza's Civil Defense Agency said at least 35 Palestinians were killed in the latest Israeli attacks, which struck Rafah, Az Zawaida, and the Nuseirat refugee camp. Medical sources reported dozens more wounded across the enclave. Israel's military said 2 of its soldiers were killed in combat, and that the strikes were retaliation for what it called significant attacks by Hamas. But Hamas's armed wing, the Qassam brigades, denied any involvement, saying contact with its remaining fighters in Rafah was cut off months ago. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu held emergency consultations with security chiefs and ordered the military to respond with strong action against any ceasefire violations. Inside Israel, far-right ministers called for a return to full-scale war. National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir urged the army to resume combat with maximum force, while Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich simply posted the word war. Meanwhile, Washington alleged it had credible reports that Hamas was preparing to violate the ceasefire, an accusation Hamas rejected as false and part of Israeli propaganda. The group said Israel's continued support for armed proxies inside Gaza was itself endangering the truce. Amid the mounting tension, a Hamas delegation arrived in Cairo for talks with Egyptian mediators on the ceasefire's future. The strikes also coincided with Israel identifying the remains of 2 captives returned overnight, Ronan Engel, a father of 3, and Thai worker Sonfair Oak Karazri. Hamas said it had located another body and would hand it over if field conditions allow, but warned that renewed Israeli escalation would hinder recovery efforts. As airstrikes resume and rhetoric hardens on both sides, the ceasefire that was meant to end 2 years of bloodshed now appears to be unraveling.